Good morning, and thank you all for joining us at PAC Expo Connects. I'm Megan Fletcher, the Market Development Manager at Ossid, and before we get started, I'd like to give a brief overview of Ossid for those of you who may not be familiar with who we are. Ossid is a product brand of ProMock, and we are part of the flexible and trays business line. Ossid started in the 1970s repairing overwrap machines and eventually evolved into a leading tray overwrap manufacturer by the 1990s. Our 500E in-seal overwrap machine gained much popularity within the poultry industry, as this format now offered retailers a leak-resistant package. We later began to design and engineer weight price labeling equipment as well as custom thermoforming machines primarily used in the medical industry. While this provided a great range of equipment solutions for many years, we realized that trends in packaging were continuing to change and that we needed to provide additional solutions for our customers and retailers. Many retailers began to push their sustainability goals and initiatives on suppliers for more eco-friendly or green style packaging. This led us to partner with Repack, a leading manufacturer of food packaging equipment from Italy. Repack has allowed us to expand our equipment solutions to include tray sealers, standard thermoformers, vacuum chamber machines, as well as flow wrapping equipment. Today, Ossid is your single source supplier of food and medical device packaging, as well as weigh price labeling machines and case scales. We are located in North Carolina and we provide all parts, installation, training, and service to our customers. If you have any questions following the demo, please be sure to reach out to us on our Ossid showroom at the PAC Expo Connects website. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the demo.
Good morning, I'm Mike Rogers, Product Line Manager for our Overwrap equipment, which includes our Next Gen 500E, 500IM, and 500SI overwrappers, and I wanted to go over a demo with you guys today so that we can talk about some of the features of our equipment. Basically talk about integration. As you can see right here in this part of the video, we're integrating our machine into some other conveyors that are in-house at this facility, and it just runs seamlessly on board 500SI wrapping machine. And right here in this video, you're seeing that they're running actually what they call stoplight peppers. These items are pretty hard to run. They seem to want to fall off of elevator type equipment. Been in plants before where the staff tells us that we're actually running like 8 per minute, and now once they installed our equipment, they're up to over 60, 70 trays a minute. So increasing their production was huge, putting in our 500SI. And as you can see right here in this part of the video as well, wanted to talk a little bit about the gripper chain, this part right here. And you'll see how it's actually grabbing the film and stretching it really wide as the package comes through, and that's on both sides. It just grabs the film really well, stretches really well, and most equipment out there that is an inline type of equipment is not running gripper chains. They're running a belt system which cannot stretch the film. This system in itself saves a ton on film width. You can drop considerably amount of film width by running a gripper chain assembly instead of a belt system like other types of equipment that is out there. And there's another thing right here in this part that I also wanted to point out. If you'll see right here in this part of the video, there is a sensor. This sensor is actually watching the gap in between each package. If any timing issues come up, there's a package out of line, there's a product off the tray, anything that happens and this sensor picks it up, it's going to just run those packages right through and not cut. So in other words, instead of stopping the equipment where you have to clear a jam, it just goes right through. It just lets those packages run right through, and you can just rework the 2 packages that did not get cut. It doesn't come to a stop. It didn't require any input from an operator. Just continue to run. So that's a big feature here. And right here you'll see the guillotine coming down and cutting in between each package. And right here in this area, if you'll just watch, right in that area, you will see that the tuck on the front side is being made immediately. It's not waiting until the end of the machine to happen. It gets cut, tucks the front fold, and tucks the rear fold immediately right in that one location. So you don't have a fold ending up laying on a conveyor all the way to the end of the equipment. It just happens immediately. And then you move to this part of the video, and you see our foam pressure pad. And this foam pressure pad is just putting a little bit of pressure down on the package to create the bottom seal. And you end up with a package that is just very tight and looks perfect. And it's on a product that is very difficult to run on some types of equipment. And here you'll see a different product type. Mini cukes. We've got machines in several of these facilities. If you look right here, you'll see on both sides, here and here, basically the whole length. These are our foam side belts. We developed these belts specifically for this one product. When we first started running these mini cucumbers, belts would damage the ends of the cucumbers, the standard belts. So we came in and developed the foam side belts, and they protect any product from damage, and they also help run trays that are lesser quality, which we always recommend good trays. Lesser quality trays can run on these foam side belts, which were designed to protect the product. And again, you see how tightly wrapped the packages are as they come off of the conveyor. They're sealed really well, as you'll see. Nice looking package, tight, sealed awesome on the bottom, and it just looks great. Looks like a fresh product wrapped in the back room. So here we have a 3D model, and I thought it would be easy for me to explain some parts of the equipment instead of having to talk about it with the machine running and that sort of thing that we watched in the previous video. Things I wanted to point out. Right here we have what we call our smart indexer. It's going to allow us to run up to 120 packs a minute. It automatically times the product to enter the machine at precisely the right time for cutting and wrapping, tucking, folding. This is the very start of the whole process. There's no chains, no pushers, nothing like some of the older equipment that you might be used to seeing, nothing but a couple of flat belts that bring the product on. And like I said, speeds up to 120 packs a minute. I'm using this equipment. And up here, we've got our film carriage. It's pretty simple. A roll of film sits right in this area, and you can run film anywhere from around 12 inches wide up to 23 inches wide, depending on the width of the product that you're running and the tray that you're running. And since we're talking about trays, you can run tray sizes anywhere from 2 or smaller. It seems like we've run in some projects something that was about the size of a hot dog tray. We've run through this machine all the way up to a 10-inch wide tray. The 10-inch wide tray would require an optional kit to be able to run that tray, but it will run up to 9 inches in its standard form with no options needed. Down here where we have our pressure pad conveyor to seal the bottom, there's also an option to extend this conveyor by double the length. The pressure pad would extend as well, so you'd have double the length of heating ability, and sometimes when running printed film, that extra length will come in handy sealing the bottom of the package. And as you can see, the machine basically is made out of stainless steel. There are a few aluminum parts. There's no painted parts. The majority of the machine is all stainless steel. You can see as it spins, there's no air, water required. It's just very simple. Tie in your 230 volts, 30 amps, 3-phase, and you're pretty much ready to run at that point. There's no other utilities required. Cantilever design, as you can see here. Anything that were to get loose in this area, it falls straight down to the floor. There's no box frame here to catch any product that were to get loose and stay in the area and nothing to clean out. Also, the machine has the capability of doing OEE reports. You can tie the machine in to your system and have all of the OEE data, efficiency data. You can have all of that sent up to your server with an optional program, or you can download the files to a flash drive and it'll basically dump all that information, all the data from the last dump to the new dump, all onto a flash drive, and it's in Excel format. It'll basically tell you everything that happened for that period of time, why the machine was stopped. There's actually input. You can actually have an operator provide input for why they stopped the machine. The machine stops, it's going to ask you the question, basically, why did you stop? And the operator is able to provide that input so that you can get some real data. It's not just the machine stopped for 5 minutes here. Well, why did it stop? Well, there was a maintenance problem, there was scheduled downtime, we keep cutting packages, whatever the cause may be, you can manually enter that. And that will help out in finding out whether your machine needs maintenance or anything for that matter. Anything that happened during that day, you can get that data. And I believe that just about wraps up what I wanted to talk about. I know there's a lot of people that are going to have a lot of questions. If you could direct that to the chat, we're sitting here waiting, and you can ask the question and we'd be happy to answer whatever questions you may have about the equipment.